Hi Taurus, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your May 2023 tarot reading. This is a reading for all Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So as we get closer to Taurus season coming up very soon here, happy birthday to any of you who will be celebrating if this is your sun sign. I love Taurus season myself. I feel like it's just perfect right after Aries season. Time to get into that next phase here. Thank you to all of you for all the support. And if you are new here, welcome. I post new readings on Friday, then again on Monday. So if a reading doesn't fit, just come back in a couple of days. You can watch a new reading. Fridays are always a general reading. Mondays are a different style every week. Today's reading will be a detailed Celtic cross style reading. But then next week is going to be a 4-month predictive for the months of May through August, which I don't do very often. So if you have not subscribed, you might want to. And even hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss that one. What advice do you have for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What does Taurus need to know, please, for the best and highest good of all involved with Taurus? Messages for Taurus, please. Okay, we'll start here with the tarot. Then we'll have a couple of different oracle cards to mix things up. Current situation, you have the Two of Cups. The immediate influence is the Star. In your subconscious, I like that a lot. You've got your own sign here. You've got the Hierophant, Taurus. You have the Eight of Wands in the distant past, the Ten of Pentacles, the more recent past, Knight of Cups coming towards you. You're represented by the Ace of Cups. The Nine of Cups is the person or situation you're attracting. This is getting interesting. Eight of Cups in your hopes and fears. Now, we've got Five of Wands in the outcome, but I actually don't mind that with the energies that are here because we have 8, 9 right together. So the bottom of the deck here, we have here Strength, the Six of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. So we have here Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and we've got a lot of water. We've got, it looks like all the elements now represented here too. Well, with this Knight of Swords here, I do feel like with this, there may be a sense of urgency to move on into something new. You've got a great reading for relationships. But I also feel like, too, those of you that are moving, I do feel like with that Five of Wands, look, the tarot's your best friend who always tells you the truth. There may be just a little bit of chaotic energy to navigate. Now, the good news is, too, we're reading the energy of the cards. So if you start to feel like, especially with the Knight of Cups being in the near future, that you get a little bit daydreamy, you get a little bit complacent about something, if it's a move or if it's you're feeling pulled in a lot of different directions and you're in a relationship and you feel like you're not paying enough attention to the person, you can move your energy. You can move your focus. And so that's why this is an important reading. Sorry, I'm putting my elbow on the cards and it wasn't very comfortable. So with the energy of strength, new doors are going to open here. So especially too, those of you that have a new opportunity with work, because you do have money coming in. And if it is something on the side where you've got your regular day job and then you start some kind of side hustle, like you start doing Poshmark or you start doing some kind of an app where you can turn the thing on and off and work as you want to. Even something like Amazon. I've seen, at least where I live locally, there's an Amazon like center, a big major center not far from my house, like within a couple miles. And so they even too have things where you can just turn on and off work for them and just show up there, which I think is kind of cool. But I do feel like they're trying to tell you want to have balance so that you're not getting so far out of balance because all of a sudden the money feels great. It's like, this is exciting. And listen, we know Taurus likes luxury, okay? I remember there's a little girl that I know who's like 6 and her dad took her to the store. She's a Taurus. And he said, okay, you can pick this or this. And she said, no, I don't want a little toys. I want a lot of toys. And so it makes me kind of think of that, like, well, she is a Taurus and she is going to speak her mind. So I do feel like they're trying to tell you with the Six of Pentacles to stay balanced. You have money coming in, but not to let it become just the overarching theme so that you're focused because you have a beautiful relationship here. You even have a marriage. And so we just want to be staying, at least giving that partnership relationship that room to breathe and grow. Okay, so I feel like you have a lot of exciting new opportunities, but it's like that push to still stay balanced. So you've got the Two of Cups as your current situation, but you're represented by the Ace of Cups, and isn't this good looking? I'm telling you, in terms of a relationship, whoops, how about we get that under control? You've got a relationship here that's serious. There's no doubt about it. You know, you've got with the Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, especially if it's a new relationship, and the Hierophant is a marriage card, but that star energy is saying this is wish fulfillment. It's exactly what you've asked for. So those of you too, I get with somebody, if you're busy with something to do with school, like you're getting another degree, or there's something with work where you're getting trainings, it feels like it does kind of, it's like there's a lot of good things happening at once. Now with the star energy, the next 7-8 weeks may be important for you. So all the way into the summer here. Twos are about partnerships. And you do have somebody too, if you're in a relationship, I feel like this is not only a soulmate energy, but it's such a good fit. And that's where we can get a little off focus, because it's so easy to say, yeah, I know we've got a good thing going here. I'll get back to you when I'm done with this. You know, and so then the relationship is not getting the attention that it deserves. I get that for somebody who's in a relationship. Your partner craves and needs more attention. That's what they say. So in a new relationship too, though, I feel like if it's not given the room to grow, because it's beautiful, it's like, just again, they keep pushing this balance thing. So with the energy of the star, that also may be about your own self-care as well, because the energy of the star brings in not only taking care of yourself, but staying connected to source so that we don't become a human doing, where we do, and all of a sudden it's like our beingness is just an afterthought. So with the star energy, it's an absolute revelation. It's an inner knowing. And I also feel like with the star, you're going to be attracting people because that tranquility from within, but also that influence over other people. That's really what it is. There's an influence. And so especially those of you that are taking off in terms of work and career, or even if it's a house and you've been putting tons of energy into it, people around you though, it's not negative. They see your success and they it's like it's attracting more people. So those of you that are saying, Jesus, this is for me, it really is about staying in balance. Well, the Hierophant comes in, and if you're saying, this all sounds great, I don't feel like I have any of these opportunities, get ready, because the Hierophant comes in and says, be still and know. Well, with the Hierophant energy, you have the keys to the universe right at your feet. This is an energy of protection, but it's also very deep spiritual energy. The Hierophant is a time of connecting with your higher self and following your intuition here, because you have that inner knowing. The number's 3, 7, 12. So we've mentioned 7 as a number here a couple of times already. But this is a card of unity. It's bringing everything together. So your subconscious is doing the work. It's saying, hey, universe, hey, world, this is what I want. I want unity. I want, especially in relationships, high, and in career too, but high moral values. You know, this is the kind of energy where if you are attracting a partner, that partner is single. This is not attracting somebody who's in a marriage or something. The Hierophant would absolutely never do that. This is one of the most integrous cards in the deck. It is completely trustworthy energy. So even with a job or a business change, I do feel like what you're attracting, you're going to gain a lot more knowledge, but you're also going to, especially those of you that are doing some kind of side thing, I feel like it could really take over or take off. So you're attracting a lot more knowledge, but there's trustworthy energy. So it's not something where all of a sudden the rug gets pulled out from under you and they say, well, the government's investigating this and now your entire income is tied to them. You know, it's a little scary when you look at some of the things in the news. I try to avoid it, but, you know, I think about people who are, their entire livelihood is based on some app that's then being, you know, changed and you have no control. But that's not you. So how about this? The 8 of Wands, somebody here, you got communication that gave you a great idea. This is all about momentum and it's moving things forward. Now, in a relationship too, this also is the arrows of love. So you have love coming in here big time, but it's a love that needs that balance. It needs that room to blossom and grow and get that full attention. But with this, I do feel like it's a time in your life where things really get going. You know, that's that energy where you're almost running to stand still, where it's like, oh my God, I'll never forget this period of my life. It was great, but it was sort of exhausting. So that star energy continues to be important in terms of taking care of yourself, making sure you're getting enough water, enough sleep, whatever that is. So with the 10 of Pentacles here, the wealth card shows up. This is absolute perfection. So in a relationship too, I get the couple in the backdrop, you know, the way they just stare at each other like they're the only two people in the universe. There is so much going on around them, but they don't even care. So if you say I was in that and yeah, something shifted, I felt a shift and I feel a bit out of alignment. You know, that's what relationships are, alignment with source. It's the alignment with love. And then the mind comes over and gets involved and starts finding things to argue and criticize, but our souls don't do that. So when we're in full alignment, that's where that bliss and beauty takes off, and it's here. So if it was available before, it'll be available again. Now, those of you in a new relationship, you may say, you know, I'm in there right now. It feels like bliss. This also, too, though, it's leaving a legacy behind. So even if there's a little bit of a balancing act that you have to get under control, I get kind of a Two of Pentacles vibe off of this. I do feel like they're just trying to say that it's going to continue. And so there's unexpected chain of events, so still about money. Wonderful, wonderful openings coming in, new opportunities coming in with money. So too, if you're trying to sell things, you may find a way to acquire new items to sell. Those of you that are doing some kind of a recycling thing, or even if you're upcycling, like you're getting vintage, expensive designer things and you're some kind of an artist and creating things out of those, I do feel like, again, it's going to bring in more money than you realize. If you're the one saying, I've always wanted to do that, I've always thought that was a good idea. I also hear too, somebody thought that there was a market that was saturated, but I do feel like you're going to get a second, almost a hanged man energy with that. You're going to get an aha moment and see how you can do a Knight of Cups here and make your way. So the Knight of Cups here brings in new opportunities. It's heaven sent. In a relationship, though, I do feel like you have somebody who is so loving. They come in, and they're also, too, though, I do feel like they're very understanding. But this is all about setting our intentions, being clear about what we want with our mind, and knowing that we can have it. So I do feel like part of that is your own practice. You have it with the star, too, that focus on source energy, allowing yourself at least a little bit of time. Even if it's sitting at your desk at work and you're saying, I need to get out of this job, I can't stand it here. And really seeing yourself in a place where you love where you're going, where you say, this is perfect. I've got the perfect people all around me, because you're represented by the Ace of Cups. Aces are about beginnings and initiations. So with this, anything you start here, you are going to love. And that's what I feel like part of that Five of Wands is about, is that it's easy to get into a place that gets you a bit off balance when you're in the place of really loving something, because your focus becomes this. It becomes entirely on one area. And if you say, that is me, I'm kind of driven, and I can get focused on one thing to the exclusion of other areas. I think I mentioned this, I have a very good Taurus friend. She and I used to be work besties, and then she moved on. But she would say that. She would say, I have an addictive personality. I get very driven on one area, and I'll do it to the exclusion of other things like running or work or whatever. I mean, she was a great coworker, but I do get that kind of same thing with somebody here. So with the Nine of Cups, this is the person or situation you're attracting. It's wish fulfillment. This Nine of Cups delivers, though. I mean, this is like sitting pretty and saying things are good. So I do feel like whoever you're attracting, if you did at some point find you got out of alignment, I feel like it's not going to be a huge deal to them. The tarot is just saying, hey, let's not get too far out of this. I feel like they're just they've got this generous spirit. They're both a giver, and they like to receive too, but they do a lot of giving here. And so you're going to be on the end of receiving something good with this. In terms of money too, though, this is like sitting pretty and saying, look at all my cups. Aren't these great? Look at how great this is going, and everything's moving forward. So the Eight of Cups, you've got this hero's journey, and this is in your hopes and fears. And so for some, this literally can be walking away from an addiction. So since I mentioned that briefly, I'm going to mention it again here in case that's relevant. But there's information that comes out and tells you that there's something more. So you're going to feel that energy of wanting to walk forward into the something more. Well, that Five of Wands, this can be competition. It can also be even children's competition and athletic events. But I do feel like overall in this reading, they're just saying not to get too far out of balance, okay? I feel like it is just a smidge of a warning. It's not huge, but I do feel like it's important that because it is in that energy, knowing if you start to feel like you're getting too far out of balance. You're getting too far into one thing where you say, damn it, I am starting to get mentally addicted to this game or to this work or whatever. Making sure you're aware of that so you can balance your energy. Balance your attention, really, is what I feel like I should be saying. All right, what else does Taurus need to know? Oh, transformation. This is a good one. Reach out for the power and strength to make changes, enrich your life, and become the person you want to be. That actually is very complimentary to the Five of Wands, saying let's reach out for more. Okay, so there may be something about that, like just being, like you're saying, just bringing in the focus and including more areas. All right, what else does Taurus need to know? What advice do you have for Taurus about love? Okay, we have here, focus on love, okay? Look for the good in everyone, and that will be returned to you. Good things are on the way for you, Taurus. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.